and photograph. And I'm telling you that this chase is never ending. And this butterflies actually showed me India. What is India actually? I could, with chasing butterflies, I could go to Arunachal Pradesh, I could go to Andaman Islands, Ladakh to chase the Apollo butterflies flying at 10,000 feet. So that's again another, something which really brought me. The butterfly showed me India. So here we actually are talking about a very small place called Taloja in Navi Mumbai. That is near Kharghar. And there is our project. I Nature Watch Foundation has been doing a project there with in sponsorship with the DCB Bank, and there is an excellent opportunity to watch butterflies. I think some of you, like Shomendra, has been going there very regularly, and he keeps on posting his pictures, and he keeps on posting his list also. Hold on. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, it's an Ambivli, not okay. Sorry, I got mixed up. I was talking about Taloja, but today we are talking about Ambivli, which is, I think, not everyone knows about it actually. And I got carried away because Taloja has been my favorite, and Ambivli is a little further, and but it's worth going all the way there and finding a place which is much more wilder actually. There we found python also, which we'll talk tomorrow, but and some of the birds which I had never seen before. So, but butterflies also, and that's more of a grassy land. Some of the grassy land, there are planet trees also. So let me start straight away with our projects. Okay, with your presentation, and so can you see my presentation? Hello?
No, sir.
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. Can you let me know when you start, whether you can see the presentation, or I'll redo again. Let me hold on. Let me start again. Windows, okay. Yes, let me see. I should go to Windows. Can you see now?
Not yet, sir.
Not yet. Let me know.
Yeah.
Now you can see?
No.
No? Okay. Let me see. Net is a little slow, and I'm out of Mumbai. I'm in far off in Karjat, and the net is a little troublesome here. So let me see if we can see. Okay. Hold on. We will share.
Yes, sir. Now it's visible.
Visible? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry for these teething problems here. So basically, if you really get an opportunity to go to this, another beautiful place is beyond Kalyan. It's near the station of, I think I forgot the name of the station now, where it was the National Rayon. The factory was there, very famous National Rayon factory. And now, of course, the factory is closed, and that area was actually comes under the Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation, and they've been very kind enough to actually give us this place to start a biodiversity park, and it was an amazing opportunity for us. So basically, we're going to talk about butterflies, and of course, you know a lot of you know that butterflies actually have a life cycle. That is, they have eggs, and then they have the caterpillars, and it goes into pupa, and then the magic takes place, and out of that, a very beautiful flying, creature comes out. But that's a magic which, till today I have done so many rare butterfly caterpillars, and till today it has been fascinating, uh, experience to see that magic happening. And this magic is truly spellbinding. I'm sure some of you must have tried that, and you can really try that if you're not. Basically, another thing is that these butterflies will always lay eggs on certain plants only. Like the common Mormon butterfly will lay kadi patta or lemon. So if you're planting a kadi patta tree or plant or a lemon tree next to your garden, next to your balcony or your windowsill also, they can come even for some butterfly. I have a friend of mine who has got these red pure small butterflies coming on the seventh or eighth floor also. So we can imagine butterflies can come there also. So you can actually start a small butterfly garden right on your windowsill, and they actually taste the plant with their feet. They keep on tasting, and when they find the right plant, they don't taste like us, like our tongue, but they have the taste buds under in their feet, and they actually can touch. They keep on touching the plants, and when the moment they come to know, the female comes to know that it's the right plant, she lays the eggs. So they are very, very fussy and very particular about plants, which plants, and that makes them the best botanist. The common Mormon will lay only on the Rutaceae family, that is the family of lemon and kadi patta. They are same, and that's what I came to know. I learned botany from them actually. And then you have the common immigrant with they lay eggs only on cassia plants, the Indian laburnum cassia. So that's what makes very, and they have, of course, they have a short lifespan. As an adult, they last for a month or two at the most, unless they in the Himalayas or desert they sometimes hibernate. But that's those butterflies are not found here actually. And their wings, after the wings are which have got, if you you see these wings under a microscope, you'll see like a roof tiles, and these are the scales. And these scales, they give them the tiny scales give them the color. And that's what we fall in love with the butterflies, the lovely colors the butterflies have. And of course, butterflies, they might be nice, sweet, but they have their own behavior actually. And it's sometimes amazing. And since they're cold-blooded animals, because we are warm-blooded animals, so we regulate our own body temperature, but they can't. So when they want to increase their body heat, they have to come out in the sun and bask. And in absence of sun, they can't actually fly also sometimes. So you'll see, especially winter mornings, if you go out, that's the best time to get photographs also, because they will not fly easily and they'll allow you to come closer also. But that's the best time to photograph them also. They'll then sit open wings in winters. That's why they actually absorbing the solar heat. And there if you really see the solar cooker, the structure of the solar cooker, and also just like you have this black center of this darker center actually. Some of them have a very black center also, which are the base of the wings. And these are the base of the wings are darker because they have to absorb the sun's warmth. After the muscles get warmed up, they start flying. So mornings are very important for butterflies for basking and a good sunlight. In absence of sunlight and cold temperature actually makes them very sluggish, and they will sometimes not even come out also. And mud puddling. Mud puddling is another behavior which you must have seen them, a lot of butterflies on crowding along on a wet patch or a stream bed or river bank. And you will say, oh my God, they are so thirsty. But they are not really thirsty actually. These are all, and surprisingly, these are all males, and they're all pushing each other and trying to get as much as the nutrients from the mud. Why? Because they are collecting salts. Why they are collecting salt? Because salts are required by the female, and female requires the salts to make the eggs viable. Of course, she requires the sperms of the males also, but she requires salt also, and that the male gives it during the mating. And the female will select the male which has got most of the salts. So the saltiest female gets the female. That's how it works out. That's why you'll see hundreds of males pushing each other, jostling each other, just to get as much as salts they can, so they can get married soon. And of course, butterflies actually, the presence of butterflies actually, tells you the quality of environment. The butterflies are flying around you and they are happy. The birds are singing. That means everything all is well. The moment something goes wrong, especially too much of pollution, too much of dust or heat also, the butterfly will just go. leave the place. And I call them very fussy because they are very, very sensitive. They will not stop in that place. So presence and absence of butterfly actually tell the quality of environment around you. So if they stop flying around you, or even the birds also will stop singing around you, that means something is wrong with the environment. So you have to, actually, these are the indicators which tell us. And today, even the climate scientists who are studying the climate change are also watching butterflies, because the movement of butterflies tell them how the climate is changing and how the climate is not changing and where it is changing. So they are actually working on butterflies also. And of course, butterflies, play a very vital role in the food chain, because a lot of butterflies eaten by other animals, birds, insects, reptiles. So they make a good chunk of food for other birds and animals. So they are important, and they are important as pollinators also. I know you will be surprised that the kind of service this bees and butterflies give is something unsung. They are unsung heroes actually. Nobody knows about it, but this pollination is so important for a good crop in the field, and that is our food. So indirectly they help us. They feed us actually. So absence of bee or butterfly actually is a disaster. And there have been issues where some places in Himalayas and Europe also, bees were dying. And then they realized they had to really work hard and see that what is that bee disease is happening. They tried to work to bring back the population, because pollination is very important for food production. And butterflies are also very important pollinators. That's a major service they do. And of course, Lepidoptera is the Latin name actually. Lepidoptera means scaly winged insect. As I told you, if you just observe them under microscope, you will see the scales on the wing. So it's called scaly winged insect. You must have touched a butterfly, of course, I'm sure, once in a while, or try to catch, and then that white or colored powder comes on your hand. That powder is not just powder, but they are scales. So those are actually the scales are butterflies that left on your hand. And butterflies also go into this kind of life stages like eggs, caterpillar, pupa. So like a grasshopper will not go into this stage. Grasshopper, when the youngs are born from the eggs, they are almost like a small replica of the parents. They don't have caterpillar stage. Whereas butterflies, moths have caterpillar stage. So that's the difference, different lifestyles of different insects. And there are more than 150 or almost 70,000 butterflies and moths all over the world actually. And out of that, some 10% is only butterflies, the rest are all moths. So here we come to the major families of butterflies, which you'll be seeing them when you go out. You have to start classifying them into if you are serious, slowly, immediately you will not able to do it. But as you get serious, you start photographing them, see the difference. Then you see that there is a nymphalid, the brush-footed butterflies, like the tigers and crows. And they usually, they walk on 4 legs only. They don't use their 6 legs, because the front pair of the legs are very small. And that has got a tiny brushes on the tip. So that tiny brushes are used to clean up their eyes and antenna, which the dust settles or the pollen settles. So that's why they're called brush-footed butterfly. All butterflies don't have this kind of facility. Like the whites and the yellows don't have, and they walk on 6 legs, whereas nymphalids walk on 4 legs. And even the lycinid or the blues, or you call the gossamer winged butterflies here, so they are also they also walk on 4 legs, the male especially. And then you have the swallowtail butterflies. Swallowtail are one of the handsomest butterflies. You have the common mormon actually believes it belongs to swallowtail butterflies. Even common line. This butterfly which is shown in the picture is actually found in the Himalayas. If you happen to trek to Himalayas like Uttarakhand, Kullu, Manali, if you're lucky, you might find this beautiful yellow swallowtail here. And then you have the skippers. Skippers actually are a little dull and they're moth-like, and many times you'll ignore them as they look very dull and moth-like or brown butterflies. So that's a group which is also difficult to identify also for beginners. So you'll take it slowly upon that. But you start with swallowtails are the most easy and they're most handsome butterflies. Then you have the nymphalids, you have pansies, and you have got tigers, crows, then evening browns. So these are all nymphalids butterflies. Now we come to the Ambivli Biodiversity Park. Actually, this has been something which, if you go, you will get addicted to. If you are staying, especially in the suburbs, like you are staying in Kalyan, Dombivli, Thane, Mulund, that is on that same line. Or even if you are staying on the uh, near Navi Mumbai, also you can possibly go there to from via Thane. You can reach there, and this is situated in the Ambivli station is there, actually, railway station where the NRC factory was there, and there is a big chunk of land. About 40 acres of land is there, and the Kalyan Dombivli Municipal Corporation was kind enough to give us. They said you take as much as you want, but we chose only 5 acres because it's a big land, and to manage a big land, you really need to. You should not spread thin and don't make a mess of your project. So here, actually, both the Ladybird Environment Consultancy has introduced a special. Along with the of course the Dombivli Municipal Corporation and the DCB Bank has sponsored it, and of course it's a project of the I Nature Watch Foundation. But the Ladybird Environment Consultancy has basically given the consultancy to get the project done, and it's an amazing place. You have so many birds there, so many, and of course, the biodiversity has, of course, increased because we have planted special trees and plants and herbs and shrubs to attract the biodiversity. And you'll be surprised the kind of wildlife you see, especially now, the good season for watching birds there. Also butterflies, but butterflies mainly you see them in the monsoon season, especially August, September is the best time. But here also, butterflies are there throughout the year. Now, as the winter sets in, the population will be slightly lesser than what you see in the monsoon. And it's basically a project of the I Nature Watch Foundation. And today it's almost ready and developed. And you guys are all welcome there. Try to contact our office at on website or on our Facebook, and we can arrange a trip we are basically going to arrange a trip there also. You can join us and share the amazing place with your own. You can do a lot of photography there, actually. A lot of birds, butterflies, other animals, insects. It's something which you'll go crazy when you go, and it's not very far off. It's near Kalyan. So you have about 120 wild plants there, species. Of course, we have planted exotics also, some garden plants, because we have a butterfly garden, we have birds garden there, and we have got medicinal plants garden. Then we have got astral garden there. So there we have planted some of the exotic, but otherwise the wild plants also grow them, and that is the main area where you get these wildlife, the real wildlife, and amazing variety of insects. More than 149 species you'll see there, and birds, 84 species. And you will see some of the interesting reptiles, the lizards, the frogs, herpetofauna, and you'll see even python if you're lucky. Last time when the workers were working on this and they saw a huge python there, that was a bonus, actually. Of course, the python was very timid and quietly went off. And you can see these are all the photographs taken at Ambivli Biodiversity Park. The kind of butterflies, you see the common PRO here, and the wanderer female, then the danite eggfly, then we have the skippers here, and the great orange tip, then the lily moth caterpillars, you name it, Jezebel, the sailors, the plain tigers, the tree browns, and the caterpillar of the hawk moths, and there are caterpillars of moths, and then you have the lemon pansy, and then you have the golden angle also, and then you have the leopard butterfly. So this kind of diversity, you'll see them in Ambivli Biodiversity Park. It's an amazing place, and if you can always, we keep on arranging walks there. We'll be soon announcing that, so that you do join us for that walks, and you'll enjoy that place. So let's see. We are going to tell you about some top 10 butterflies just seen in Ambivli, and we'll explore their lifestyle, their life cycle, how they live, how they breed. It's an amazing story for remember. This is my favorite butterfly, the blue pansy. It's so pretty. It's so pretty, but it is difficult to photograph because it just keeps on it does settles and it keeps on moving. And the moment you go very near, it flies off. And it's very active in the afternoons. When it's very hot, it loves to go in and it is usually not found in the shade or among the trees, but it loves grasslands and open places basically. And it is very territorial, actually. The males, they keep on chasing each other. You'll be surprised. Even butterflies, keep on fighting with each other, and they have their own territory. They will not allow any other males to come in that area, and if they come, then they fly. So this is again a beautiful butterfly with a shining blue wings, and these eye spots, actually you see them. Actually, these eye spots many butterflies have actually are actually defense mechanism. It's an adaptation to divert the enemy's attention to a less vulnerable part of the body. If there's an attack, the attack will be on the eye spots. Usually birds are programmed to attack the eye first, and here you have a false target. So that's what sar salamat to pagdi pachas. The sar is, your head is protected. The head is actually here, and usually you'll see many of the butterflies with the bits of wings missing here. That is mean they survived the bird attack, which they have used very successfully using this decoy. So that's very important. And blue pansies are spread in Africa also and Asia also, and you'll be finding them in summer, especially even when the hottest part of the day, when most of the butterflies are gone and hiding in the foliage. This butterfly will be flying in the hottest part of the day, that is afternoons, and it will be in the barren area, hot barren areas, especially the river beds or the stream beds. You will find them. So look out for that. And it has got a very interesting life cycle also. You have it lays a very tiny egg. This egg is very enlarged to show you actually what its structure looks. And the caterpillar is drab, looking like a moth-like caterpillar. And then it makes a very drab pupa also, because they have to look drab because they have to hide themselves. They can't have beautiful colors that will attract the attention of the predators like birds. And this stage, especially caterpillar stage and pupa stage, they are very, very vulnerable. They are like gulab jamuns for the birds, so they have to hide. And then soon, within a week or 12 days, the caterpillar changes into beautiful butterfly into the pupa and comes out. So that's the life cycle of the blue pansy. It's one of the most prettiest butterfly and the prettiest and very common actually, especially, and it is not found in the forest but on the fringes of forest, and it loves open grassy places. And then we come to the blue tiger. It's another common butterfly you'll be seeing around your house also actually, and it is a traveler. It migrates actually, especially when there are too much of rains. Actually, it moves away from the rain, and then it comes back when the rains are over actually. And sometimes these butterflies, and they are the relative of the American monarch. You must have seen a lot of films of American monarch and the assemble. This assemblage happens in India also, especially in South India, in the forest. Even in Boril National Park also it happens in Mumbai. These butterflies, mainly the striped tiger, not the blue tiger, they assemble in huge numbers, especially when it's very cold or very hot. They'll assemble, and when the weather is okay, then they start moving to a better place. So that's how they do that while migrating. These are traveler butterflies, migratory butterflies, and they're distressful. Distressful is when it was a caterpillar, it actually fed on poisonous plants. Now this plant is actually called Vatakaka. Vatakaka is a Latin name, not a Marathi name. Vatakaka, and this is a poisonous plant, and usually cattle will never eat this plant, but the butterfly caterpillar can eat. So the female lays an egg like this. It is highly enlarged, but you see the detail of the eggs. And then the caterpillar comes and starts eating this plant. And while eating the plant, it can not only digest the plant, but it retains the plant poison in the body. And when it emerges as an adult, that same poison remains in the body. And birds, when they make a mistake, a young bird who is inexperienced make a mistake of attacking this blue butterfly and gets a taste of that body juice of the butterfly. The butterfly doesn't get mortally injured, it will survive. But it will give a taste to the butterfly, to the bird, and bird will start vomiting and nausea and throws away the butterfly, vomits out. So much so that never again it touch that butterfly. So that's a lesson. It's a very harmless lesson that the butterfly teaches to his predator. It doesn't kill, because killing, the education is lost. So this education is given to the predator so that next time the predator will never make a mistake. That's how very effective education the predator is getting from this kind of behavior of the butterfly. Then we come another beautiful butterfly called the blue mormon. Blue mormon, of course, if you happen to go to Western Ghats, especially now you'll be seeing them on the Western Ghats. But this butterfly actually migrates to Mumbai and other regions in monsoon, when too much of rains are there in the hills. And this is the state butterfly of Maharashtra. It is the state. We have got state butterflies of Bengal, state butterflies Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, other places, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, and we have blue mormon as our butterfly in the state of Maharashtra, and it is a very powerful flyer, and it lays eggs on lemon plant. Comes on the flowering plants like pentas, axora. If you're planting them, will come, and you'll see them in cities in Mumbai and Thane region and New Bombay, especially in the monsoon, because this time they migrate from the hills because there's too much of rains here, and they come and stay for nearly 3 to 4 months, and they'll go back when the rains are over. But what goes back is not the same butterfly that came from the hills. It is possibly the third or fourth generation that will be going back. So how the fourth generation remembers that where my forefathers came from is again a big mystery. So it's again possibly a genetic program that allows the butterfly to go back to the place where the ancestors were born. And this butterfly, will see them in the flowers, mud puddling, and the caterpillar of this mormon, I'll show you. It basically looks like a bird dropping. Look at this. Look like a fresh bird dropping. Why? Because birds are the major predators of these caterpillars. So it tries to look like a shit of a bird, and that's the last thing the bird will find very appetizing. So that's a strategy. And then it remains, it always sits on the top of the leaf, just like a bird dropping, and the bird ignores it. And then later on, it becomes green also. And that time, it also again sits on the tree plant, and the colors are such that you can't easily notice them. And then it becomes a pupa, and pupa is also green, and usually is underside of the leaves. And then that emerges after 12 to 15 days, it emerges out. So that's the life cycle of the blue mormon. It's an amazing butterfly and a large butterfly, of course. And then you have another handsome butterfly called a commander. These names actually were given by the English officers. When English were ruling India, that time, a lot of these British army officers were posted here in India. And that time, there was a hobby of collecting butterflies. Collecting means catching them, killing them, pinning them, and putting them in a frame. It was a hobby. But they also were very seriously collecting, and they were studying butterflies. A lot of books were written by these army officers on butterflies. The major contribution was during that time of butterfly habitats and the behavior and the identification of butterflies happened during that time. And they named also all these names, actually English names, the common English name, commander, common mormon, were given by the British officers. And that's the reason you find that most of the butterflies will have this army-like names, like like you have a commander, or you have a sailor, sergeant, commodore. So all these kind of army-like names, army-like ranks. That is because those were given by the army officers themselves. It was their hobby actually. And this butterfly actually was once upon a time very common in Mumbai. Then it disappeared, and now for a while it was not seen, and then again it started seeing again. Why? Because the host plant, the kadam tree, people started planting this along the roadside. And because people started planting this roadside, this butterfly has come back to Mumbai. It was actually almost absent for some years in Mumbai, the lack of host plants. And that's another very interesting life history. The egg is very beautifully sculpted, but with a small spikes there, but very tiny egg, which is a small like a grain of a suji or a rava. You can see that it's so small, and the butterfly actually looks like a dry leaf, rolled up like that, and it remains there among the dried leaves. So it is sometimes difficult to find out which is part of the dry leaf or which is a part of the caterpillar. It is so well camouflaged, and it remains like that. In the pupa also looks like a dry leaf. So that as I said, that this stage of caterpillar and pupa is very vital and also vulnerable. That's the time they usually have this very excellent camouflage, very good camouflage, and they remain invisible. That's the best strategy to survive, to remain invisible so that the predators don't see them. That's very interesting. If you happen to see many of these kadam trees, you might today season now, the best time now, the commander is breeding, and you have kadam tree around you. You might see a tree, the leaf eaten from the top, from the tip, and that's the best place where you can find this caterpillar. And it looks like a small dry leaf, a bit of leaf, and you try to touch it, then it will move. That's a caterpillar. Otherwise, it's very difficult to find this caterpillar. So well camouflaged. Now we come to another very commonly found butterfly called the common crow. It's a dark butterfly. It is almost dark brown, some black almost, sometimes gray. And again, like the blue tiger, this also butterflies are distasteful because when it is a caterpillar, it eats all the toxic, distasteful plants, and it drains the body juices in the body juices are full of this toxic substance of the plant, and but birds soon learn to keep off from this toxic butterfly. It doesn't kill the predators. It only gives them a bad experience. So bad they vomit, they nausea, they suffer. It's so much bad that they will never forget that unpleasant experience. And these uh, milkweed butterflies, like especially these glassy tigers, the blue tigers, the striped tiger, the males have got these brushes. See at the end of this abdomen here, the yellow thing coming out. That those are called the brushes, and these brushes actually are the scent organ. Scent organ means they disperse the pheromones, the male pheromones, to show their presence. So many times they are very territorial also. They keep on, moving up and down, and they don't allow any other male to come. And they keep on, puffing out their pheromones through this organ, the hair pencils. It's called the hair pencils. And through that, the pheromones are dispersed in the air, and to attract the female that here I am, I'm here, like, showing that. So that is how it helps to attract female. And it has got its own, each butterfly will have its own territory, and they will chase away other males. So, butterflies otherwise are quite timid looking and quite sweet, but yes, they do fight among themselves and they are very territorial. And you can see this beautiful butterfly. This butterfly has got a very beautiful pupa. It is sometimes so shining. It looks like a earring actually. You'll be tempted to pluck it and put on a ear, like a earring or a locket in your necklace. They're so pretty. And these colors again are not real colors. Actually, colors is a refraction of the light that gives this pupa kind of shining. And moment the butterfly comes out, the shine goes away. It becomes totally without but this why? See, you have been finding this commander butterfly and other Mormon butterfly trying to hide away, trying to look like a camouflage dry leaf or something. But here the butterfly is trying to show his presence by a shining pupa. Why? Because he's warning. This is a warning color actually. It's warning the predator to keep off, boss. If you touch me, you'll get a bad nausea and vomiting sensations. So birds soon learn that you have to keep off from the shining objects, and they look pretty, but they are very, very experience that they'll never forget in their lifetime. So this is our warning colors, and you might see this in the nature also when you're trying to search for butterflies, caterpillar, pupa. You might see them. Especially, it feeds on ficus or even the umber or people or banyan tree. It feeds on that, and that's the best place to find these butterfly caterpillars and rear them, and you will find this beautiful pupa with this shining colors. Then we come to common Mormon. This name Mormon is given because there's a cult. There was a cult in America where they had one guy having several wives. This guy also, the butterfly common Mormon, has got one color form, the male, but the females occur in 3 color forms. That's why that same Mormon name has been given, because the Mormon cult, just like a male having 3 wives or 4 wives. So that Mormon cult was there in USA and in America. So that was this name was given to this butterfly. But actually here it occurs in 3 different forms, and it's surprising that these forms are actually for survival. The female doesn't look like the male, but she looks like a different butterfly called a common rose and crimson rose. Why? Because this common rose and crimson rose are distasteful. Birds don't eat those butterflies with red coloration because they are also distasteful. They feed on the toxic plant called Aristolochia, and they have the poison in their body. So birds will learn to keep off from red, common rose and crimson rose. And this female also has evolved to look like them. So she also escapes. She also gets the same protection as the common rose and crimson rose. Now, this evolution has occurred. It's not a conscious effort. Like, I want to look like him, or I want to look like her. So you wear your clothes. It's not. It has happened out of several years of selection. You can imagine that nature has sculpted them to look different and to mimic. So this is called a mimicry that happens in nature. And this is the common rose in the model here I see in the top here. And the one female like this is actually is mimicking the common rose actually. And then you have one form of a female that looks like male only. It's exactly like male, but that's not very common. But more common is either this form here on the either extreme left, that females look like the crimson rose, and this is another form of female that looks like a common rose. See, common rose, the only difference is common rose and crimson rose has a red body. That the Mormon doesn't have. That's the only difference. Otherwise, the pattern on the wing is exact. And nature, if you're seeing them flying, you'll get confused. So they're so perfect. And nature has been just a perfect sculpture in doing this. And this is the common rose. You can see this. And it is also migratory butterfly. It flies from, in winter, it comes here. But too much of rains also, it goes to places where there are less rains. And it feeds on, the caterpillar feeds on a distasteful plant called Aristolochia. And that Aristolochia plant is poisonous. And this butterfly caterpillar can not only digest but retains the poison, and then that poison helps them to survive because butterflies don't attack this caterpillar. Because this caterpillar is like this. You see, this is the egg and this is a caterpillar, and the caterpillar is bright red with the bright tubercles red and the white markings. And birds soon learn that boss is a dur raho, because this is going to create problem. This caterpillar will give a bad stomach and nausea and vomiting. And because of this, actually, the common Mormon, here you see the common Mormon females. This is the female mimicking the common rose, and this is the female mimicking the crimson rose. These crimson rose and common roses are not attacked by birds, and common Mormon female gets the same benefit by mimicking. So this mimicry is a very interesting study in genetics. Actually, a lot of big scientists are involved in studying this genetics, and how this has evolved and how this happened. So we have crimson rose again. Crimson rose again is the same like common rose. So here on the top you see this is crimson rose, the red body. But this on the top is not crimson rose. This is, you might mistake it for a crimson rose, but look at the black body. This is just to give you a confusion. This is actually a common Mormon female, but she is so perfect that the color matches the wings. Only the body doesn't match. Here the body is red for the crimson rose, the body is black for common Mormon. So that's the secret that you'll find soon, that they are actually very good mimics, but only the body you can make out which is a mimic and which is a model. The model is common rose, crimson rose, and the mimic is the common Mormon female here on the top. So that's how it happens. And birds get confused, and birds avoid anything that looks like crimson rose. So that's how it gets saved. See, this has possibly evolved because the female has to carry eggs, she has to find the host plant alone, and she has to lay eggs also. That's the time she gets eaten up. And because of this pressure of getting eaten up and by predatory pressure, she has evolved to survive. That is the reason basically, and this is how she has managed. But this is managed very well. It's amazing. Nature is so amazing that this has happened. And for nature, the female is more biologically important. That's so possible. This facility has been given only to the females, not to the males. Males have to just run for their life. So that's the life cycle of a crimson rose. Look at the color of this caterpillar. This kind of bright red tubercles in the black body is a distasteful. The birds looking at them will say yuck, because they have experienced that eating these caterpillars are not a tasty dish, but can give you bad stomach and you'll end up with vomiting. And then it becomes like a pupa, like a dry leaf, and stays there for a week or two, and then the butterfly comes out. So that's the crimson rose just emerge, and they hang like this, where the butterfly blood, which is not red but is yellowish, it is pumped from the body to the wing veins, and wings slowly expand. That's why when you're rearing a butterfly, you should always have enough room for the butterfly to hang like this. If you don't have enough room, you rear them in a small bottle, butterfly will not have a place to hang, and the butterfly wings will deform, and butterfly can never fly, and you'll feel guilty about it. So if you're rearing butterfly, remember, always raise them in a big bottles or big jars or big boxes, but never in small bottles, because otherwise you'll have deformed butterflies and you'll feel bad about it. Another interesting butterfly is the Danad egg fly. We have the great egg fly we saw in the beginning of this picture. We have the collage of so many butterflies. There was the great egg fly. This is a Danite egg fly. Why egg fly? Look at these white markings like eggs, egg shape white markings. That's why it's called the Danite egg fly. Why Danite? Because the female doesn't look like the male. I'll show you why she's called the egg fly because of this, and only the male has got this pattern of the egg-like pattern. And it's a handsome butterfly. It prefers open areas and very territorial. The males will be chasing other males, will not allow it males to come in that area. And they love nectar plants like lantana, zinnia, marigold, hibiscus, portulaca, and parleria. If you're planting them, they will also come to your place. But they prefer open areas actually. Whereas Danite egg fly, the great egg fly, is seen in the forest area and where the plants are there. This prefers more open and drier areas. Look at this, the male of the Danite egg fly, and the female. The female is different. It looks like a plain tiger. And plain tiger is again distasteful butterfly, just like the striped tiger or the blue tiger or the common crow. So she has evolved to look like a plain tiger. That's why, and that plain tiger is Danite butterfly. These butterflies, blue tigers, glassy tigers, striped tiger are Danite. They're called Danite butterflies because Danide, the group. So look at the Latin name, you'll find out why it is called. So that's how this name got Danite, because the female looks like Danite and the male has got egg-shaped marks, so it's called Danite egg fly. And underneath, look at them, they look very different. And she looks exactly like the female, looks like exactly like a plain tiger. And plain tiger feeds on calotropis. Calotropis has got heart poisons. So even the cattle don't eat that leaves. And it can cause heart problems if you drink a juice of this calotropis leaves. That's the reason this butterfly feeds caterpillar. The plain tiger feeds on this calotropis, and birds never go near plain tiger. And taking that advantage, this female has evolved to mimic like a plain tiger, and she also gets the same protection. That's called the mimicry. Here you see, but you can make out which is a plain tiger and which is the mimic, which is a model and which is a mimic. So here you can see the border of the mimic is scalloped. It's the border is scalloped. Here it is not scalloped. That's the best way to find out the border. Look at the border. That there. Otherwise, you will get confused. Don't worry about other spots and border. But the best way is to look out this border here, which is scallop of the Danite egg fly female, and the plain tiger will never have this scallop border. That's the best way to find out which is the mimic. Otherwise, it's impossible in nature to find out whether it is a plain tiger or a female of a Danite egg fly. I mean, even I get confused. And that's the life cycle of the Danite egg fly. The female lay eggs on small plants. Some of the host plants are very small, and that's the egg. And the caterpillar slowly grows up into 5 to 6 stages. Grows up, molts, and then pupates. And it comes after a period of 10 days to 15 days. And then you come another beautiful butterfly. It's another beautiful butterfly, and whenever you see this, you feel like photographing it. You are so tempting and so beautiful it is. But you show it to a bird, the bird will say yuck. Why? Because again, I told you that this butterfly is tasteful. These beautiful colors are actually beautiful to us, but for birds are warning colors. And that's the reason these butterflies always fly very slowly. It will not hurry, because it wants its predators to actually have a look. Theek se dekho bhai, don't make a mistake. Otherwise, you'll end up with a bad stomach. Okay? So that's how this butterfly is there, and it lays eggs on what? On the plants which are called parasitic plants, the loranthus or the mistletoe plant, grow on other plants. And that's why you'll see that this butterfly flying even in the middle of traffic, in the road. It will flying in the huge trees planted along the roadside, because the huge trees will be having those parasitic plants. Especially if there's a mango plant, you'll see this parasitic plant growing there, the loranthus or the dendrotop, they call Latin, or mistletoe. And these parasitic plants are the host plant of this Jezebel butterfly. And look at that. The caterpillars are gregarious. Gregarious means they live together. Living together actually helps them to give the effect to predators. Together they give a better, bigger impact, and they keep off. And the caterpillars are not edible because even the loranthus leaves are distasteful, and butterflies uh, get the benefit of distastefulness. That's why then birds don't eat this butterfly, which is got this warning coloration. Here you have a Jezebel, another not from India. Just give an example of how beautiful the Jezebels are. This is from Papua New Guinea. But butterflies, Jezebel are found all over Asia and in Papua New Guinea also. And they are amazing. Ourselves, we have got about 8 species of Jezebels here in India. Especially this common Jezebel found in Maharashtra, other places. But if you go to Northeast, you'll find other species of the Jezebel, like the red based Jezebel, the yellow Jezebel, and the dark Jezebel, pale Jezebel. Amazing variety you see of Jezebels. But these Jezebels lay eggs on the mistletoe, and these are the mistletoe. The eggs have been found, the eggs and the caterpillars. Then we come another beautiful small butterfly called the yam fly. Why yam fly? Because it lays eggs on the yam. Yam is the diaspora. You must have seen sometimes we are traveling on the road with the Adivasis selling the yams from the monsoon, or sometimes the elephant yam, a suran, they call it suran. That's all the yam, and they lay eggs on the climber that comes from the yam, and that's why it is called yam fly. And it's a very beautiful butterfly with a long tail and belongs to the group of blues. It's not nymphalid, but a blues. And they're actually, you'll be surprised that this group of butterflies, especially the blues, the ants actually, the caterpillars are helpless and they require somebody to look after them and protect them. So who will protect them? The ants. But ants will not do a job free of cost. So ants need to be paid. So how does they work out? So you'll see that ants always are near the caterpillar. Why? And they are protecting the caterpillar. Why? Because caterpillar has got a special gland at the tip of its abdomen. And that gland is giving a sweet liquid. That's the salary of the bodyguard, the ants. So ants get a salary of this sweet liquid, and in return they protect the caterpillars. So many of the species in this group of blue butterflies have this strategy of, of having this association with ants, and they have this special gland that gives off sweet liquid to attract ants to protect them. That's how it works very well. And it's an amazing symbiotic relation that ants and caterpillar. Otherwise, ants are predators. They'll finish off the caterpillar immediately. But here, the ants don't attack the caterpillar, but they protect it. So that's an amazing relation. And there are several research has been going on this kind of relations of ants and butterflies. And this is the life cycle of the yam fly, and that's a caterpillar of the yam fly. Very small caterpillar, and that's a yam leaf. It's very difficult to do. They're so well camouflaged. Sometimes it's very difficult to see them also. But you have to keep on looking, and you will lucky. If you're lucky, you might see them. And when it comes, it looks very. The leaves are the wings are crumpled and crushed under the inside that pupal case. But when it comes out slowly, it expands, and then within 20 minutes, the butterfly is ready to fly. So basically, ensuring butterflies have got a big job of surviving, because they don't bite, they don't sting. So like other animals, they don't have, but they have different ways of. One is of course the flying. Flying off is the best way. When you are attacked, you just fly. But then sometimes flying is not enough. So they are using chemical actually many times. A chemical as I said, they're using the chemical of the chemicals present in other plants, toxic chemicals present in other plants, and that chemicals are using for their own survival. Yes, I showed you plain tiger and blue tigers and crows using the distasteful chemicals of the plants to use them against the predators. So basically, if you want to encourage butterflies around your place and to create more butterfly friendly spaces, the best thing is to butterflies. You can't have pesticide in your garden. No for pesticide. Butterfly insects. If people spraying pesticides, there'll be no butterflies left alive there. And you have to have right plants for attracting butterflies. Butterflies don't like roses or gladiolas or chrysanthemums or jasmine, but they have like lantana or they like um, uh, and zinnia, this kind of plants. They lay eggs or lemon. So you have to plant these plants, the nectar plants and the host plant. Host plant is the larva, the caterpillars to lay grow on, and the nectar plant is for the adults. So if you have this kind of garden, which will certainly attract butterflies. Hello, I'm on the. No, I'm going on. Yeah, it's going on. Yeah. So, friends, we are almost at the end of the trip, and I'm just tempting you that we take for this tour, and you can always join. Here is a number, and you can always note the email also. And we are on the Facebook also, and we have got a website also. And whenever we are announcing, please do join and enjoy this diversity. It's an amazing place, and especially if you are photographing them and sharing on Facebook or Instagram, you will be amazed that you'll get so much of subjects to share with your friends on Instagram and Facebook. And Facebook has got about more than 30 groups only on butterflies, and you can upload your pictures in this group, and you can actually get your pictures identified by experts there. So, friends, I invite you to join our tours whenever we announce. We will. One is, of course, we have this naturalist training program also coming in December. So, if you are interested to become a naturalist, and you can become also trainer also. So, do sign up. We are going to announce it around in December. Do join this, and you'll be enjoying how to share and how to learn how to read the signs, telltale signs, how to identify birds, insects, reptiles, and you become an expert actually. And you can actually take tours, and you can actually take groups also and share for your own enjoyment also. So thank you, friends. It was nice sharing with you. And if you have any questions, you can ask me, of course. So I'm here to identify to answer this. So I'm here. So you can do ask me your questions. Yes, you can actually ask me questions. No problem. Sorry, I think your mic, I can't hear it. Yeah. Yeah, all your mics are mute, but I don't know whether you can unmute and you can ask questions if you ask.
So this question is that
Yes, sir. This is Somendra. Good evening.
Shoman, yes.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear you again. Each and every time I listen to your lectures, come to know some new things. It's a pleasure for all of us.
But you
sir,
are also very serious, actually. I like you actually, whenever you go, you make a list of butterflies you've seen. Very systematically you work, and you actually photograph them well also. You're a good photographer. And then when you don't can identify, you always ask, "Kaun sa hai, kya hai?" And that's very nice. So you're doing the right path. Yeah, okay. What you want to ask? Yeah, bolo.
Yes, sir. Actually, what is that? My point now, it is the prime time for butterfly to see. But across the years, it's pretty difficult to find the butterflies most of the places.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's my question is actually regarding that. See, as a photographer, I used to click for different things, but definitely as it is the prime time, I look for the. So rest of the time of the year, say if you are not going out of the Mumbai or surroundings, so what's the possibility of getting clicking more butterflies? So and how we can.
The rest of the year is difficult, especially as the winter becomes more severe, or Mumbai doesn't get severe, but as the temperature drops, the butterflies actually go to warmer places and other places, and they migrate. They leave the places. So, and even too much of heat, like March, April, May is very hot. So that time also you'll not see butterflies. So it's difficult, but you'll find them on the hills, especially if you go to Mahabaleshwar, Matheran, where the temperature is much lower and there's good vegetation. So you'll find them. Yes. So you can possibly try that in summer, especially. Okay. Yeah, you can go to hills like Mahabaleshwar or Matheran, where you can good or Ambivli in near down South Maharashtra. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Yeah. So good. Keep going. And best ways to always thank you, Sharda. Always. You also have been going. You have recently been to Arunachal Pradesh, and I saw some nice pictures of you had uploaded. So
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. It's a good hobby, and you can follow it very much. Thank you, Kaustup. Yeah. So it's a good hobby, and you find so many like-minded people actually. And we butterfly groups also, they are butterfly meets also. So every year we meet actually. Last time there was a meet in Arunachal Pradesh, and then we have butterflies meet in Sikkim or sometimes Assam, and it's amazing. All butterfly lovers come together. We share our pictures, we share our experiences. So do join some of these butterfly groups, and whenever we announce any butterfly meets, do try to attend these meets. It's nice learning from them and get to new places, new people. It's an amazing time. And everybody talks about butterflies, nothing else. Everybody's so crazy, butterfly crazy. Yeah. Hema Shetty, Hema, bolo. Hema?
Hi, thanks,
Yes, tell
Ajay.
me.
One question.
Hello. Hi.
I was very lucky
Yeah.
to see butterfly migration once when I was in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Almost half
Oh,
an
wow.
hour, they just kept flying. There were so many of them. Like, can you
Okay.
imagine in
Wow.
half an hour how many butterflies must have passed?
Which did you identify them?
No, they were like,
Which color?
no, very
Which?
small ones.
Huh.
Uh,
Which color? Which color they were?
they were a bit far, so I
Acha.
wouldn't know.
But yeah, but you have identified correctly that they are actually on the migration. When the butterfly is on the migration, no, they will not stop anywhere, and they keep on flying in one direction only. So what you observed is a correct phenomenon, and you identified it was indeed a migration. Yeah.
But my question is, if they are like 1 or 2 months, where are they going? If their life cycle is
See, actually, yeah, that's a very
short.
interesting question. Good you asked me. See, as I told you, what goes is not the same one who comes back. So actually, in the migration route, they stop and they breed, and some die, and the next generation goes further. So
Acha.
sometimes they migrate from Western Ghats towards Eastern Ghats. When there's too much rains in Western Ghats, they keep on migrating towards Eastern Ghats and drier places. And in that places, they breed and some die. The next generation goes further, and next generation goes further, and then the third or fourth generation comes back to the place where they had started in the Western Ghats. So that's how, because the life cycle is very short, lifespan. The birds, like in BNHS has ringed several birds. So we had ringed one bird in Point Calimere in Tamil Nadu. So that bird came from Russia, from Siberia 14 times to India. Same bird, because we are ringing those birds. We came to that one bird came 14 times to India. But butterflies don't, because the butterfly life cycle is very short. So what goes back is not the same butterfly that comes back. So they actually move in generations. Yeah.
Punarjanam.
Yeah. But what you saw was very interesting. What you saw is very interesting. Not many people have seen the migration.
Oh yeah, that was
You are
very
lucky. You are lucky.
beautiful, so mesmerizing. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
you're lucky.
exaggerating. Half an hour, they're just going and going.
Correct.
So
That one, yeah. In line, they fly almost in a line. It's amazing. Yes,
Thanks,
because
thank
you'll be surprised that if you happen to go in December, January in Kanyakumari, you'll see crimson rose migrating from Kanyakumari to Sri Lanka, non-stop flight.
Wow.
So they look very frail and fragile, but they can fly across the ocean non-stop. Nothing to stop.
That's a sight to see.
Yes. So you also saw a good sight of migrating butterflies. Good. Interesting. Yes. So, Anifra, you have any questions? Then we can wind up this session. It was interesting that you came. Thank you so much. And we hope to meet sometime when the outing is there. I'll be there for the outing and we'll join. So, thank you so much. Thank you. Good night. And enjoy.
Thank you.
Have a nice, happy weekend.
You too.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.